stress is one of the things that makes you age faster, get sick faster, affects your immune system, lack of sleep. And if you have all this amazing combination, it's like this is the recipe for disaster. Everything is science-backed. We can predict through your breathing patterns if you're about to have a burnout, anxiety. You literally can rewire your nervous system to trick it to do crazy things, like run a marathon.
Join us as we welcome Vanessa, co-founder of Vitae Clinic in Switzerland, where people learn how to breathe better so they can live better.
Consciously decide to breathe better. It's very important to try to not breathe through your mouth. Quantity is not quality. The more efficient you breathe, the more energy you have. Only if you had it, you know how bad it feels. Because breathing is like freedom. If you cannot breathe, you feel like trapped.
So Vanessa, for people who don't know you, I could read your bio, but I'd rather you introduce us. Who are you and what do you do?
I help people to breathe better and to increase their oxygen efficiency in their bodies so that they can perform better, regulate more, and recover faster.
What made you do what you do now?
What we do is basically lung health to help people to live a better life. And that was always very present in my life because my co-founder is my mother.
Oh, wow.
So she worked in intensive care therapy with newborns and also very old people for 35 years. So we implemented all this knowledge that she got in intensive care into wellness and recovery and performance protocols to help people again to live a better life. But the reason why this started, it's because even though it was always super present in my life, my mom was always doing her thing and I was doing my thing. And after COVID, it's when everything started clicking. We started thinking hey, this could be something. Because I mean, pandemic was something that changed everybody's life. So this is when it started the idea, but I was again in my corporate job, super into it, thinking this is what I want to do, helping other people to create a brand that is successful. And I always knew I wanted to create my own thing, but I didn't know with whom. But then everything clicked at some point, and then one day she came back from work and she was talking about what she was doing. I was like, this sounds very interesting. And I was asking more questions and more questions. We just sat together and in my laptop, and it was like, okay, now I'm not gonna leave the house until I don't finish this. So I logged in, and then.
So how many hours you were locked inside?
I don't know. Could have been weeks.
Oh my God. So you didn't step out at all?
Oh, of course I did. Of course I did. Yeah. But I was very determined that this is something that we can help people. I come from a branding and business background, and she's a doctor, she's a healer, she's a practitioner, she's been in intensive care. It was the perfect mix, and actually I'm very proud of what we came up with.
So you said intensive care. What does that really mean?
So when people are very, very sick, they cannot be in a normal hospital bed, but they go to a hospital bed where they are monitored all the time. They're connected to machines. They have breathers, assistants, when they're connected, all these things. And then people are checking them 24 hours. In a normal hospital bed, you don't have that. But this is for very critical patients. Of course, we have all the people that helps us. We have medical advisors. And we have tech people, marketing also people that now help me because I cannot do everything on my own.
That's right. That's really impressive. So for our listeners who might not know your work, why should they care about this conversation?
One of the fastest ways to connect the outside with the inside of your body. This to say that there are two paths of respiratory health, of breathing. One of them is the physiology, which means did I have COVID? Did I have a lung flu? Or I don't know, asthma, allergies that, that part of your lungs that maybe have been have been sick, And then there is this other part of your breathing that connects your nervous system, like the outside, like that connects you with your nervous system.
Yeah.
So these two are complementary, but also like very important for everybody, especially because stress is like the main cause for a lot of problems. Like as we all know, like stress is one of the things that makes you age faster, get sick faster, affects your immune system, lack of sleep. And if you have all this amazing combination, is like this is the recipe for disaster. This is like a natural medicine that we all can use to regulate stress. But then there is this other side of something called respiratory physiotherapy, which is literally to improve with non-pharmaceutical products the way that your lungs are working. The better you breathe, and maybe we got to get into this, but the more efficient that you breathe, the more energy you have. And this is why I think everybody should know about this.
So if someone is in their 20s, okay, and they're not breathing properly, what are the effects they're going to have after 20 years if they don't breathe properly?
Intense fatigue. The thing is, like with breathing, it's like a circle. The more you don't breathe better, the more your body is gonna be stressed. You don't know that you're stressed, but your body is stressed. And because you've been in survival mode for years, you don't know it. So you would get sick faster. You will not recover faster. Like some people suffer from acute migraines and they don't know why. First of all, they don't breathe better, like properly. They also don't drink water, which is also not great. But it's like a whole combination of everything. Also, there is something very interesting about breathing and fatigue, and it's that your cells have these powerhouses called mitochondria.
Yes.
Which are inside your cell, and they are the ones in charge to create energy in your body.
Produce energy. Yes.
Exactly, to produce energy in your body. And they need oxygen to function.
That's right.
You're not going to have energy to perform well at work in a simple setting, like let's say have a nice conversation with your loved ones. And this can also affect your private life, like not only work, but and then if we talk about like athletes that they need to perform because that's their job.
That's right.
You're not going to perform well.
Yeah.
So it's all connected. It's very interesting.
I think this is the reason. That's why a lot of us, I've heard a lot of people saying that even after a good night's sleep, when they wake up in the morning, they feel wired and tired.
Yeah. And a lot of these things are also connected to your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Your nervous system has two highways, and one of them is the parasympathetic and another one is the sympathetic. The sympathetic is the one that helps you perform better, like stress you a little bit, gives you this excitement of like before a tournament, a match, a presentation. And the parasympathetic is the one that like relaxes you. So before going to bed, digesting, relaxing, listening. Sympathetic, it's like some sort of like when you have stress, but it's like a good level of stress, because stress is necessary in your body. Like also when you exercise, you stress your bodies to make them stronger. And stress resilience is also something that we can train. The moment that you are regulated through your breath, because as I told you, it's like a press button to regulation. You can deal better with stress, good stress or bad stress. So I wouldn't say like stress is completely like super bad, because we need it, but it's better to be regulated. And instead of like always being in this mode of sympathetic of like I need to survive, it's better to like, okay, I know that I need to survive, but let me regulate first, and then maybe think about a solution, or maybe think about like, and then perform, so you can recover through your parasympathetic and then like perform like a star.
And you mentioned this term called regulated. What does that mean?
So because we have a lot of stress and we live these lives in like big cities, or not even like stress at home, like stress can come in any type of way. You can also react, like you can control your reaction, because you cannot literally, sounds a little bit cliche, but you cannot control what comes towards you, but you can control how you react to it, right? And you can regulate your reactions in your body through activating your nervous system, which is activated through your breath, which is the natural medicine.
That makes sense now. So before any match, I used to go and play. I used to feel this butterfly sometimes in my head, in my stomach. So that means that I was entering my sympathetic.
Yes.
Okay. When I'm eating food and or going to sleep before the bed, that's when you have to regulate your parasympathetic. And for that you need to do some breathing exercises, but not the ones which activates you, but the ones which calms you down.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So they have to feel safe all the time to be in the parasympathetic mode. Is that what you mean?
These are the things that you can train.
Okay.
Because it's not that I have to feel safe in my environment and like that I have food, you know, all these kind of things. You can train that through breathing exercises. And this goes back to like hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
When we started like all these breathwork exercises and like in India and this goes back from like ages, and everything is science backed. People don't know this, but there are studies about this, like you name it. There are so many studies about this. You could be stressed basically, but you can also know the exercises that are, you can do them consciously to regulate before you go to bed, or before you have an interview, or before you go to your tournament, or you know, all of these things you can regulate them consciously, like a control remote for your body, because literally you can press it, do the exercises, and you gonna feel better.
In your experience, what are the 3 most common problems people come to you with at your clinic?
It's sadly stress, one of them, and anxiety. I mean, when we're talking about problems, like actually, like if someone is sick, they also come because they had a long flu.
Okay.
Also long COVID. Long COVID is very often, like, sadly, it's something that a lot of people are still suffering. This happened between 2019 and 2000, let's say, 21.
Oh yeah.
And now it's 2026 and people are still suffering, but
Oh my God.
they haven't recovered properly, like breathing capacity.
So they're having short breath.
Yeah, short breath, like fatigue, extreme fatigue. Having a short breath is something that also feels horrible. Only if you had it, you know how bad it feels. Because breathing is like freedom. If you cannot breathe, you feel like trapped. And we have a lot of patients that come, like, it's very sad, but like the main reasons why they come is stress, anxiety, and long COVID.
Let's dive deeper into your main motto, that is respiratory efficiency. What does that mean?
So when you breathe, you inhale oxygen, exactly, and it goes in through your bloodstream, right? In your bloodstreams, you have like your cells, and it's in your whole body.
Yeah.
So these cells have to be filled of oxygen, but the cells to be able to absorb this oxygen, they need carbon dioxide
To absorb the
oxygen, and to be able to feed the mitochondria to be able to produce energy.
Yes, the ATP.
Exactly.
Yes.
ATP, exactly.
Yes.
This is one of the main things that we treat, like with already healthy people that want to perform better. This we all not only do through breathwork exercises, but also different machines that we like, technologies that we use in the clinic. Maybe it would get too technical, but we use IHHT, we use like different diagnostics too. Also, like one of our main things is that we do lung diagnostics and non-invasive lung diagnostics. We took all these machines that were used in the intensive care in our approach. So it's very precise, and we can tell you if you're hyperventilating, if we can predict through your breathing patterns, if you're about to have a burnout, if you have anxiety.
Also, you can track everything.
Like all your breathing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you mean by hyperventilating?
It's when you breathe shallow.
Okay.
It's like shallow breathing. And also, some people think that they're breathing properly when they inhale very deeply. Your breath shouldn't be loud. So the moment it's loud, it's already, you are breathing too deep, basically. which is something that most people don't know too.
So you mean that even having long breaths that make sound is also not good for you?
It has to be like the right amount of oxygen to your body, because like the fact that you can inhale a lot doesn't mean that, again, that all this oxygen would like turn into energy inside your mitochondria. Because also there is this factor of like the carbon dioxide that is the one that triggers this absorption inside the cell. So you also, there are many aspects to it. You also have to like build like a tolerance to CO2 to be able to absorb all this oxygen. So the fact that you're breathing a lot or like super deep doesn't mean, like, quantity is not quality in every case, basically. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. If your body doesn't have enough carbon dioxide to absorb the oxygen, what are the effects someone's gonna face?
Brain fog, fatigue, lack of memory, because you're lack of concentration also. It could go also deeper. Like breathwork is also recommended for people that have ADHD. It's recommended because it helps you with energy, because a lot of the times that we lose concentration is because we're tired, because we don't breathe properly. And it's like, again, everything connected. It's like a circle. This class is a circle. It's always like,
so if there's a break in the circle, you'll feel exhausted, you'll feel fatigued, you'll feel the brain fog. Because that's why I also keep catching myself where I'm not able to remember a lot of things. I just forget a lot.
Yeah, but I think it's also because we live in a society that is overstimulating. It's important to be present in the moment, of course. And this is also something like all these breathing exercises also help you to like stay a little bit more grounded and more...
Be present.
Be present, yeah.
Yeah, I think this whole generation is facing that at present, where they're not present.
Yeah.
And breathing is something, it's like a quick fix that brings you back where you are.
Exactly.
So what do you think most people get wrong about breathing under stress?
Well, never breathe through your mouth. This is very important. Especially now we live in big cities where there's a lot of pollution. And if you breathe through your nose, like you're literally cleaning, because our bodies are very smart. Our bodies, I'm pro all the tech that you can use, but our bodies know how to heal themselves, like a lot of things. Our bodies are very smart, are perfectly designed. And if you breathe through your nose, you can actually clean the pollution, most of the pollution that you actually breathe. So it's very important to try to not breathe through your mouth.
When you breathe through your nose, it's like you are filtering out the pollution, or mainly the pollution.
Yes.
You're filtering it out when you're breathing from the nose. But when you do it from your mouth, you are not filtering that.
No, you're not filtering that, and also the efficiency is, again, not the same. It's like drinking not dirty water. It's not exactly the same, but if you could drink clean water, why would you drink dirty water?
That's right.
And also your position changes. You have less energy. It's everything connected with energy, which is super interesting.
So, for example, if someone is under stress, a healthy human, let's take an example of an athlete, okay? Because of something happened at home or financially, he's under stress and he goes for a tournament. So, how do you think his breathing can affect there?
So first of all, he's gonna be in his stress mode. And the nervous system is gonna be stressed.
So the sympathetic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's gonna be, his way of reacting, to be able to react fast, because they have to react fast in general. Like if it's a tournament, you have to be fast.
Yeah.
Fast thinker, fast reaction. That's gonna be slower because you're tired, because your brain is probably thinking about, I didn't pay this bill, or something happened in my family, or something like that. I think what it's important with breathing exercises when it comes to stress, when it comes to athletes or anybody else, is that you can disconnect your brain from your body, which is very interesting. And it's also very interesting because you shouldn't be listening to your thoughts all the time. Have you heard of that? Like not listen to your thoughts too much.
Yeah, I mean...
Because the brain is a little bit like a weird place sometimes.
Yeah, it just goes everywhere.
Yes, exactly. So when you breathe and you disconnect from
the situation
and you feel your body with like oxygen, and like you probably were training a lot, and then that's where a lot of like the mental preparation comes. Also very important. This is also that we do a lot with our patients, our athletes. It's a whole combination. It's like a whole holistic thing, like the energy, the oxygen, the tech that you can use, and also the mental work that you can like do for that. I feel like for athletes, one of the first things that we would do is like test their lung efficiency, like how much it is like working, to know very specific what is happening with you, particular situation. Of course, if we can also ask some personal questions like how your stress levels, how you're sleeping, and all these things, this also helps. And then what we do is like we help them to, depends if they have to do cardio and if they have to do like athletic work, like they have to be fast. We also work on that, and we work with athletic coaches that implement all the breathwork part that we do with the athletic,
all the frameworks that you have created to help people, you give it to the coaches, and they implement those frameworks with the athletes. That's pretty
and
good.
Also lungs are like it's a muscle. It's like your heart, like same way you do cardio for your heart, you have to do that for your lungs. The stronger they are, the healthier they are, everything's gonna work better. It's like also, it's like literally like cardio for your lungs.
Because I think so far how we all have been training our lungs is just by running. We thought, okay, we are working on it anyway when we are running, but it's actually, you can just sit and do the breath work and make it stronger, and can increase the efficiency of how you breathe.
Yes.
So if any of your client walks in, so take me from your A to Z, all the protocols that you do. So if I walk in today in your clinic, how do you, like, what's the first step?
So diagnostics first, and we do non-invasive diagnostics. So we would do like a whole diagnostics of your lungs, how they are working, ideally in a resting state. That's for different reasons. Ideally, I mean both. If it's an athlete, also how it's working when they are performing, right?
That's right.
So we do the diagnostics, and then doctors and like someone is gonna study your case and say, okay, this is more or less what this person needs. And then we create a program just for you. This program might include, let's keep again like the topic of the athlete. Depends on what sports they are playing, depending on like the age, the height, because all of this, like your lungs are also bigger, and all of the
That's right.
HRV, all of these things are interconnected again. We would create like a personalized protocol for you, which is combined with athletics, or depending, because like for like right now we work with athletic coaches that are already working inside these teams that we work with.
That makes more sense. I mean, you don't have to approach to the athletes specifically. You have coaches with you
that work with us, but implement what we do inside their practice, like their practices.
Yes.
Inside the training camp, or what might be that day, they implement what, like all the exercises that we have been discussed. Like some of them, of course, if it's a team, then they organize themselves the best way that they think. And in the middle, we create these programs to see, like, we know already data how your lungs were working when you arrived. Then in the middle, we test you again to see how your performance is coming, like how your process is going. And then at the end, we do like again another test. And if we feel like it's necessary to continue, like constantly test the progress, depending on like the team or the person, the athlete in this case, then we will have like all these data to tell you, okay, this is not just a one-day data, this is a trend. And this is another thing that diagnostics have. And I think it's very important that we do it like this way, because if you go to do like a blood test, it depends so much if you had like caffeine that week. How did you sleep? What did you eat? Did you have sugar that day? And then they give you information about your whole body of that day. Next day could be completely different. The same is for lungs. So that's why we do the trend stuff, because it's very important that you have constant data about to see what's the trend.
And what was affecting you at that moment. If your recovery is poor, or you have a shallow breath, what was affecting you at that moment.
Exactly. That's very important. And the recovery, as I told you, is extremely important for everyone in
That's
general.
right. That's right. So when I hear of recovery, all I can think about is how everyone around us is now so pumped about HRV and RHR. So I've been tracking my HRV and RHR for a long time. What's the quickest way to fix HRV and RHR? Because I haven't found the hack yet. So if any of our listener, they're listening and they want to control their HRV, what's the easiest way?
I would say like one of them, stay away from toxic relationships. Toxic people, no, we don't want them.
That will take you in the sympathetic mode, yeah?
One of them is that, and then the other one is really try to do breathing exercises before you go to bed. Of course, is everything, it's connected, because like honestly, if you eat sugar before going to bed, you cannot expect that you're gonna sleep well. Everything is connected. That's why, like, it sounds like a joke, but also staying away from toxic people is like one of the main factors to help you like live a better life. But like to activate, literally, like this is like a press button to relaxation. It's like consciously decide to breathe better, like to really breathe consciously. And since I started with Vitae, I noticed how I breathe. Before it was just autopilot, like whatever, who cares? I don't even know how I'm breathing. I'm just because it's not something you think, because you take it for granted until you get sick, until you get like a real bad cough or like something like that. But to sleep and to recover better, there are many other technologies, but if you want to do it like simple at home, like try to breathe consciously, and try to, this is also something like maybe people might not know, when you exhale longer than what you inhale, your body relaxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I've been noticing this for last 2-3 months since I have resigned from my job, because I was not even aware the way I was breathing. But lately I've been doing a lot of breath works, and whenever I feel like taking my awareness to my body, I just feel like how tight I am, like trapped the whole time. So the moment I catch myself there, I just take a long breath and I just breathe out, and I see like I can feel my whole body relaxing, you can just literally feel where all you have been tight so far, and you just suddenly feel that change.
Yeah, because you do it consciously.
Yeah.
It's like some people don't like to go to the gym. And honestly, I suffer when I go to the gym. I'm like, oh my God, I'm shaking here. I hate it. But I know that this is going to help my muscles to feel stronger, to feel better, and like to not have a back pain.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
So is it true that how we breathe can literally rewire your nervous system? And how does that work?
Yes, of course. As I told you, it's like a press button to relaxation mode. Scientifically proven. Like you can literally go and ask your source, whatever source is your favorite, is this scientifically proved? And it is. And that's why we work with a lot of doctors, because we do pain therapies also for pre and post surgery, and also for moms that give for birth, because you literally can like rewire your nervous system to trick it to do crazy things, like run a marathon.
After a surgery.
Yeah.
You already making them dream big, like, okay, I think you can go for a marathon next day only.
Run a marathon, give birth, that is also something magical, crazy, and a lot of pain involved, because you consciously like choose, okay, I'm now, for example, I need to recover to perform, let's say. That's why I believe that recovery is so important before you have like an important deadline or like a presentation or everything, because you're gonna perform literally better. Name it, giving birth, run a marathon, which cannot be comparable, of course, giving birth and running a marathon, but do incredible things with your body when you recover, and because you are in your regulated mode of your nervous system. And this is also all of this can be done. Of course, there are some biohacking tools like oxygen inhalation that you can also do that. And this is also something that I really like, because I'm not a big fan of IV drops. I prefer to have it like I don't like invasive stuff. And this is one of the principles also of us. We don't do anything invasive. We use inhalations of different like gases, different like let's say oxygen or hydrogen, to have the similar effects than IV drops.
Also, you don't need to put IV if you can just recover through your breath.
I mean, of course, there are some times where you could be like
in extreme cases.
In extreme cases, I would recommend it, yes. But if you can be preventive, you don't have to go there. If you have been doing your breathwork, being conscious at least 1-2 minutes a day, like if you think about it, the investment, the return on investment is huge.
That's right.
Then you don't have to go to like all these extreme cases of, oh my God, I need to rehab in the you know, or like IV drops are for me a little bit extreme, or even though like there are a lot of benefits on it, and now all the peptides and like all of these amazing technologies that we have, I would say like a lot of people are not ready to trust someone to like inject something in their bodies, you know. And I understand that because I'm the same. So I would say like you could prevent a lot of these things by doing little things that like you can actually just learn, or like if it's when it comes to like already stress, and then you already like have anxiety and you had long COVID, then you can come to us. But you can also do a lot of stuff at home.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. So when you said that even in the case of pregnancy and someone's coming out of surgery, you just rewire their brain by breathing practices, that just made me wonder that in my society where I have been programmed, whenever the woman is in their pregnancy or after pregnancy, people tell them to take care of themselves a lot, don't move a lot, stay in your bed, eat well, that's all. But at the same time, I have seen athletes like Kim Clijsters, who won the US Open, then Serena Williams, who was still competing at the time she was pregnant, and Elina Svitolina, she was finalist last week at the WTA 1000 Dubai.
Amazing.
So she's also pretty much active after giving birth to her child.
Amazing.
So I mean, that made me wonder like why at some parts of the world they are asking women to just take care of themselves, not move at all. And then at the same time, how you are bringing in this biohacking tool through which you rewire the brain and help people function properly and do things that they can't even imagine.
Yeah, cultures it's something like also women have to struggle with this like for many like years. We all know that.
That's right.
A little bit, it's sad. Yeah, I've been a victim of this. My mom has been a victim of everybody in my generation. And I acknowledge that. I feel like every woman should do whatever they feel like with their body whenever they feel like doing it. And this is like the real freedom, in my opinion. I feel like someone like Serena Williams, she's super passionate about what she does. And also every pregnancy is different. So even if you are like a high performer, like an athlete, and that you're super passionate about your job and like your sports, or you are like a mom, like some say mom, which is also another sport. Like it's another professional sport because having kids is not for the weak.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Exactly. After you gave birth, you're in a very sensitive space of hormonal space, also emotional space, because a lot of these hormones are really like
they're dancing.
Affecting you. They're dancing.
They're dancing like, inside the body.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you doing? It's not an easy thing. And I'm not a mom, but I know this from our patients.
Yeah.
You can regulate that. Not completely, but you can at least try. And I feel like if you're an athlete, you have been taking care of your health for such a long time, especially if you're a professional athlete. And this is why I'm going back again to the preventive health. The moment your muscles are stronger, your cardiopulmonary health is stronger, then you are able to recover faster from giving birth.
That's right.
Because you are like taking care of everything else. And that's why some women like recover faster, and other, like, of course, unless you have been like had like a very hot pregnancy, but everything goes together. And also all my respect to all mothers out there, because I'm not a mother, so I'm just telling you out of like from an outsider perspective. And I'm also not a doctor, so yes.
So once the diagnosis is done and the patient have or the athlete have achieved whatever they wanted to, now what's the next step for maintenance and the optimization?
When someone comes to our clinics, you name it, could be an athlete, could be like a mom, could be a stress professional, or like a CEO or
Yeah.
founder. We give them the tools, like we do the diagnostics, and then we do all these trends that I told you. Like we take like different, like at different moments of the programs, we do like test them. Ideally, every time that they come, not only like in the middle of the program. We take these trends, we create the program, we do the program. Let's say the patient had like 10 sessions or like whatever it was.
Yeah.
After that, this patient should have, or this person should have already the tools to do it at home, to keep it as a lifestyle. Because it can only be, and this is also like going to therapy also. I don't feel like people that go to therapy should not do exercises at home. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when they come to us, they do the exercises with us. We teach them, we diagnose we do the diagnostics of what they do. We also follow them in the progress, but they should keep that forever. And if they maybe forget about what they're doing, they can come to us and then we can do like a refresh session, and then they can continue their life, because this is something that should be in their lifestyle, not
That's
just
right.
like a 1 month thing and then just never do it again.
So this is exactly just like a workout at the gym. So if you're working out, till then it's fine. The moment you stop working out, you're gonna start losing the muscle or the strength in your body. So breathing and the diagnosis you're providing, that is also just like a workout, which they have to make it a part of their lifestyle, how they live.
Exactly, because your lungs are a muscle.
That's right. So if somebody needs to take that first step to make their respiratory system efficient, what's the first step they should take, or an exercise you can tell them to do?
So I would say like be aware of your breath, and also try to inhale through your nose and exhale longer than you inhale. That's a good exercise. Try to hold your breath sometimes. This is gonna help you to make your lungs stronger. Try to hold it and see how long you can breathe. There are also like exercises for that I can send you them.
Yeah, because I had a podcast with Yash Moradia, and he's a elite athlete of yoga. Yeah, he does yoga and breathwork a lot, and he teaches here now in Dubai. He's got a lot of Guinness World Records under him. So I asked him, like, how can I control my thoughts? Because they're like, sometimes my head is full of thoughts. How should I control them? And he gave me a really good hack of that. He was like, breathe in, then hold your breath. The moment you're gonna hold it, you'll stop thinking about that. You'll be like, okay, my breath has stopped now. And then you breathe out. Yeah, so so what you said, that you should hold it, that's when you will have the least thoughts in your head.
Yeah.
So listeners, this is a good hack. You should also try it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Try to hold your breath.
Yeah. But please, don't die. Don't hold it for too long.
Don't hold it for too long, exactly.
So Vanessa, what's a myth about your field you wish more people knew about?
Well, there are like maybe two. One of them, breathwork, is not something that, and I call it breathwork, but it's actually like training your lungs to become stronger. It's not like something like someone went to did like a 3-day course and then is now teaching you how to breathe better. No, there's like a whole science behind it. There are studies behind it. There are professionals that only study this field. That is literally how the mechanics of your lungs are working. And then that can help you actually too. Also, another myth, I would say, like carbon dioxide is bad for your body. We have this perception that it's like something very bad. And it is. Can be toxic in high volumes. But we have carbon dioxide in the air.
Yeah.
Carbon dioxide has to be present in the air you breathe to be able to absorb the oxygen, because this is what triggers the absorption of oxygen into your cells.
So what's the biggest lie we have been told about aging and performance?
with every age coming different challenges, and I feel like every age you should like also, of course there are some people because they had a very healthy lifestyle or they were lucky to have health, because some people are not lucky to have like,
or to focus on their health. Yeah.
to focus on their health, but also some like good athletes had like some bad circumstances where like their muscles are not really working well, or like if you had like a normal life and a healthy life, I would say like every step of your life should come with different challenges, and like you should not ask your body to do more than what you feel like doing, and also accept the fact like sometimes life is like changing, you know. And I would say, and also depending on how your life is changing is how you should adapt your performance to it. Accept sometimes that life is not that easy. Accept sometimes that you're aging too.
Yeah.
And the idea is also not to live forever, but like have a healthy life.
That's
while
right.
you have it. Healthy life meaning if you want to do some sports, if you want to do like have a healthy life, like not feel super sick. There are tools that you can use to perform it the way that you want. It has to be like also like a decision, but like a conscious one, in my opinion.
I mean, what I can think about right now is how I felt during my athletic career, although I was working hard a lot off the court, in the gym. I was trying to sleep better and all that, but I tried to stay as disciplined as possible. But the moment I was going into the tournaments, within the first set only, I would feel completely tired, completely exhausted. And I'm just questioning myself, like, why is this happening to me? I mean, I have worked hard enough, but still I feel so exhausted and I'm not able to give my 100%. And now when I look back, I can just connect the dot that I should have focused on breathing better instead of just keep working hard and focusing on the hustle.
Yeah, it's everything goes to your mitochondria. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And this is something I was also not aware of before.
Yeah.
I was like digging actually deeper into how your body works.
Yeah.
And this is why it's so important for athletes to like work in their mitochondria.
And how did that feel when you learned about it?
I hacked the system.
Oh, you got the cheat code now.
Yes, the cheat code. Yes, it is literally.
Yeah.
It sounds like a joke,
Yeah.
but it's the cheat code.
Yeah.
If you don't have energy, your life is tough. Nothing that you will do will satisfy you even. Like
Yeah.
no performance, no satisfaction, no enjoyment because you're tired. Like what is life if you're tired?
Yeah.
But also if you recover and you recover deep, then it's also again it's like a
Yeah. So it's like a healthy cycle. If you breathe better, you're going to sleep better. You will have less stress and you'll be able to handle stress properly the right way and not just feel trapped or tight in your body, because that's how your body starts holding the trauma then. Breathing is the cheat code, guys.
yes, it's the cheat code. Yeah.
Yes. It was really nice talking to you, Vanessa. You sharing about the longevity and how to breathe efficiently in the stress situations and how to optimize your breathing, understanding the difference between sympathetic and the parasympathetic. It was really nice talking to you, and thank you so much for sharing it with us on the Mask with Abhivir podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here with you in this amazing city.
Yeah.
And see you in Switzerland.
Yeah, see you in Switzerland soon. Thank you.
Thank you.